I'm going to focus this conversation now on Madhya Pradesh. 8 seats in this phase, 29 seats in all. The BJP swept MP the last time, but the Congress bounced back in the state elections and runs the government now. Amitabh, do you believe the rejuvenated Congress will claw back both in terms of vote share and seats?
So this region is very important for Congress because many of the seats in this region belong to the Gwalior-Chambal region, where Congress did very well. In fact, the number of seats it won was almost 3 times of BJP. If you break up the assembly segments of these 8 seats, 37 were won by Congress and 25 were won by BJP. 1 to BSP and 1 to an independent. So this region is very, very important. Guna is a stronghold seat of Congress, where Jyotiradittya Scindia has been winning for many years now. BJP has been feeling the pressure, and in fact the cabinet minister Narendra Singh Tomar's seat has been changed here. He has shifted from Gwalior to Morena. Bhopal, we are seeing an interesting battle on the cards between Digvijay and Sadhvi Pragya, and though it is becoming a bit polarized election, but a section of BJP cadre, as per my reports, are not supporting Sadhvi Pragya. MP is another state where the Congress has put up heavyweight candidates: Digvijay Singh, Scindia, Kamalnath Singh, Ajay Singh, Arun Yadav, Vivek Tanka. So this is a state where Congress is in direct contest with BJP, and whatever gains Congress makes will make a dent in the BJP's overall tally. If you simply extrapolate the Vidhan Sabha numbers, it is 12 in favor of BJP. Whereas in 2014, Congress won just only 2 seats.
Okay. Sanjay, the focus of attention has, as Amitabh was saying, has been on the controversial Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur, who takes on former Chief Minister Digvijay Singh in Bhopal. Do you think this gamble is going to work for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh?
I think in Madhya Pradesh, Pragya Thakur is actually going to play a negative role for BJP in many constituencies. Maybe BJP can win Bhopal, I am not sure. Bhopal has been strongest seat for BJP, and general sense was that it will be very difficult for Digvijay Singh to win. Now there is a real very keen contest in Bhopal. So I don't want to stick my neck out on that one particular seat who wins or loses, but I can tell you that Pragya Thakur, despite BJP's strong belief that extreme kind of polarization works, and Pragya Thakur is a very good instrument to do that, I think in many seats it is going to really play a negative role. And I also heard the same thing, that local BJP workers in Bhopal are not happy with the choice, and large number of what we call quote-unquote liberal Indians, be it urban dweller or rural dweller, they have not really liked Pragya Thakur being fielded by BJP.
Sandeep, I also heard an interesting slogan in MP: Congress aayi, bijli gayi. Congress is back and power cuts are back. This is the counter-attack by the BJP, referring to the infamous power cuts way back during Digvijay Singh's tenure as the Chief Minister. I understand that you've been on the ground covering a few rallies. What's the sense that you got?
Yes, in fact, I heard the earlier panelists say that if you look at the Bhind Morena region, for the Chambal region, it's going to be very crucial for the Congress, because this is where they actually won the maximum number of assembly seats. Well, that's true. In fact, in 2014, if you see that out of 29 seats, Congress had won only 2 seats. One was Chhindwara and the other one was Guna. Chhindwara has already voted. Guna is going to vote in this phase. And of course, subsequently, they won a by-election in Ratlam, which goes to polls in the last phase. Now, I must say here that in the past 4 months, I covered the assembly elections quite extensively, and I went back after 4 months for the Lok Sabha elections, and I saw that there was a sense of loss, a great loss of enthusiasm. I've hardly seen a 3-month-old government fighting the kind of incumbency that I saw with Kamalnath. Perhaps the expectation was way too much. People really sort of believed that in 10 days' time the farm loan waivers are going to be delivered. Now, Congress on its part says that they have, there are 50 lakh farmers whose loans need to be waived off. We've already done 22, but in many villages across the state that I traveled, many of them said that they are hopeful that it'll happen, but it hasn't yet happened, and that has kind of dampened their enthusiasm for the Congress a bit. Coupled with there have been some power cuts in Indore and Bhopal. Digvijay Singh, when I interviewed him, and I actually asked him this, that there is now the common refrain among voters is that Congress aayi bijli gayi. That was also a campaign point by the former Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan. He said, "Jab jab bijli jayegi, tab tab mama yaad aayega." Now, Digvijay Singh had an interesting answer. He said that, well, in the past 15 years of BJP rule, there have been many contractual employees who have been hired, nearly 32,000 of them, and many of them are BJP supporters. So this is a sabotage. Sabotage or not, one thing is fairly sure, Harsha, that Bhopal is going to see a fairly polarized election. Remember, Digvijay Singh has stayed away from criticizing his opponent. He knows that if the vote gets divided on Hindu-Muslim lines, then it's going to be a very difficult election for him. So Digvijay Singh has tried to be the good Hindu with all his sadhu sons doing puja, very visible sort of puja that he does. But in his election speeches, he talks about development, his vision document, etc. So he's trying a mix of both. He wants to be a good Hindu, stays away from all his controversial statements earlier, doesn't attack his rival, but talks about development as his agenda. So let's see whether that works or not, because it is going to be a polarized election. Because when I covered in what you would imagine as upscale posh colonies of Bhopal, where former bureaucrats, multinational executives stay, when I asked them about Pragya Singh Thakur being a terror accused, most of them, for many of them, it just wasn't an issue. They just didn't think that was an issue. They were so convinced that this was a trumped up case that they said that, well, she's been cleared by courts. When I pointed out that no, that's not the case, she's out on bail, they said that, well, but it's a false case. So let's see how it plays out.